My name is Charlotte Simpson and I am the Service Manager for Birchwood Mental Health and Wellbeing Service. I have lived in Skelmersdale for 21 years. Still don't know my way around, still getting used to it, but I'm here. So we have supported refugees for around 3 years. Initially we supported the first cohort when they came over in 2017. When the second cohort came over, we did lots of the initial resettlement, so we provided real intensive support to the refugees with things like GPs, benefits, employment, schooling, health, all aspects of their health. They then went on to have a long-term caseworker, so we still support the families now. Lots of integration with schools, lots of joint working with various partners, and I think working with the refugees is quite insightful really. Their culture is very different to ours, and I think it's a mixture of sort of them getting to know what our culture is and us getting to know theirs and finding a balance really to help that integration within Skelmersdale, which is itself quite difficult at times. I think lots of our families are really settled at the moment. Some of them have come up to their 5 years, so they're actually ready to complete their resettlement, which is exciting for them, and I know when I've spoken to them, a lot of them are really happy with that, and they feel like coming over to the UK has been really beneficial to them and their families. Yeah, so one of our refugee families is the neighbour is an English lady, and they've built up a really good relationship, so they will do things outside of their volunteering together. And I think for sort of when you come over as a refugee, you are almost you find people that are also in the same situation as yourself, and often that can be a real sticking point because there's no integration there. So actually seeing those families come together and share experiences, share food, which is something that David talked about before, it's really lovely to see actually, and it just shows that when communities do work together, those relationships become really strong, and sort of it isn't that sort of being a refugee and looking differently and dressing differently. You don't sort of stick out, you just accept it, and that's the way it should be. So one of the biggest things for me when I started working on this project was thinking about what my experience would be like if I was to have to uproot my family and my children and move, hundreds of thousands of miles away from my home. Would I want to be met with hostility, or would I expect that somebody would just take me under their wing and kind of say things will be okay? And I think in Skelmersdale that's what we've done for our refugees, and I think as a community we should really be proud of that. So Birchwood does work in conjunction with the Ecumenical Centre. A lot of that is through our community cafes. So we have some of our Syrian families volunteering for Birchwood through our cafes and our community shop, which one of our cafes and shops take place here at the Ecumenical Centre. And I think it's a good space to come together and share experiences really. So we do work quite well with the Ecumenical Centre. Healing to me, so healing, I think it brings on lots of connotations really. I think spiritually that's a massive part of it, but I feel like it's kindness, isn't it? That's what it is. It's about healing relationships, it's about healing people's trauma, healing their past, healing things that they're coming from really. And I think with Birchwood, and particularly with the project that we worked on, the Harbour project, I think it encompasses that word for me. A lot of it is about healing people, and that's the most important thing, isn't it?